Hey Georgie, you want a balloon? They float. They all float down here. Anyways, guys, Mark Rodriguez here. We're at the comic store. We're at Comics World, wherever it is. And today is Free Comic Book Day. So let's check out what kind of cool free stuff we're going to get today. Lots of cool comics. Let's go take a look. We got Macho Man. He was the Macho King at that time. He won the King of the Ring. We got Hulk Hogan. And we got the Ultimate Warrior. But wow. I mean, obviously we're too old to be like throwing these guys around and whatever. You're supposed to actually wrestle them and throw them around and bop your brother on the head with them and whatever. But oh my god, never thought it was CDs. I just saw these at the TV commercials. We never actually bought them, but that's pretty cool. Alright guys, I'm back home from Free Comic Book Day, and yeah, this time I didn't really get that many comics, like, like the actual comics you pay for. I mostly got the free comic books. Of course, I just came back from my trip, so, I got to, rack up the money again and all that. And, yeah, so Comic World was pretty cool. I was not expecting to see the WWF Wrestling Buddies there. I actually don't remember seeing them in stores back when they were new, but then again, back then, Toys R Us was kind of like a special event. Like, back when you were a kid in the 90s, like stuff like Toys R Us and McDonald's, Burger King, all that stuff was like a rare event. And nowadays you kind of take it for granted. You can just go to McDonald's like whenever you want and stuff like that. And of course Toys R Us is, now gone. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And of course Comic World always have a big selection of comics, all kinds of cool stuff there. It's always good to kind of check out what Deadpool, what Harley Quinn is up to, all these, different characters, all these crazy new things from Marvel, DC, and independent comic books too. And yeah, it was 20% off the whole store. They have a cool section of comic books that's like $1 each, like all the old classic stuff. And that store had the 5 comics per limit. Limit 5 comics per person, so it's kind of cool. And then we went to Bent Wookie, and of course Bent Wookie had Box Boy there, so that's pretty cool. Got to hang out with Box Boy for a while. He was out there, like, promoting the store. That store also had, of course, the $5 limit per person, 5 comic book limit per person. And also, I think it was, like every year, that if you spend over $20, you get a free $5 gift certificate to, like, use later on. That's kind of cool. This time I couldn't quite get it, but, always next year. Or later on for the Halloween Comic Fest, right? And also, Spider-Man was there. It's always cool to have Spider-Man get a new autograph. My first is going to be covered with all these different Spider-Man autographs from throughout the years and everything, so that's kind of cool. But anyways, to check out the haul that I got now, let's take a look. Alright, so first we got Spider-Man here, Spider-Man autograph. I was trying to get like a different picture. Then we got Stranger Things, a popular Netflix series having its own comic book. I'm kind of curious about that. Like, what's it going to be about? It's going to be like in between season 2 and 3. I don't know. Then we got this comic book called Punchline. Kind of curious, independent comic book. So why not check it out? I'll probably cover it in the blog. Then we got the Turtle comic book. Turtle's pretty cool. I think the Turtles are going to be doing their own version of not Secret War, their own version of City at War, which is of course the big comic book storyline in the original Mirage comics. They're going to celebrate their 35 years. That's pretty cool too. Then we got Batman. Batman has finally reached, I believe, oh no, not this one. I'm sorry. Batman is still, I mean, it's getting up there, but this is the big one. Detective Comics has finally reached over 1,000 issues. If you just go straight by Detective Comics, ignoring like all the different reboots, all the different times they went back to #1 and Rebirth and whatever else and the New 52 and all that, like, they have officially reached over 1,000 issues. So yeah, I bought those. And there was also Turtles and Batman. It's the third and final time Turtles will be crossing over with Batman. The IDW Turtles with the DC Comics Batman. So that'll be cool. More free comic book day stuff. We got Street Fighter. We got Sakura and Karen. This will be the first time we'll be seeing them in comic book form on the Street Fighter 5 version of Sakura and Karen. That's kind of cool. Then we got a free Avengers comic book. I thought it was the same one from before, but no, it's a different story, so that's cool. We also got Spider-Man comic book with Carnage there and Miles Morales. That's kind of cool. We got Lady Mechanica. There's always like a Lady Mechanica book there, so I'll check it out. Robotech, a.k.a. Macross. I wonder what's going on there. Pikachu, Pokemon, I Choose You, because, why not? And Umbrella, also because, why not? She's one of the oldest, most classic comic book characters. So yeah, that's quite a haul we got here, guys. Alright, one last thing I want to show off here real quick as we're talking about comic books and all that. Here are the comic books I picked up at Level Up Expo. We got a place, I think it was called Retro Comics, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, I got Legend of the Dark Knight, Prey, 5-part story. I got all 5 parts here, and I've already started talking about it in the blog. It's a cool comic book. It takes place back when Batman was still starting out, and the cops didn't trust him. Commissioner Gordon was still a captain at that time. no Batmobile, and no Bat Signal. So it's still like starting out and everything. And I guess Catwoman was also starting out. So I got all 5 issues. It's pretty cool to find these comic books and get like all the parts, not be missing any, you know. And also the Dark Knight here, I guess it's a one-shot called Family. And we also got a story called Blades. I also got part 1, 2, and 3, so I'll also be reviewing that. That's kind of cool. And also I got Zen, the Intergalactic Ninja. I also got to meet the guy, Steven Stern, the actual guy that created the comic books. I had a cool little talk there. I did miss his panel. He had a panel at the con, but I missed it. But I actually got to talk with the guy one-on-one. He's a pretty cool dude. He was very proud of his creation. He was pretty happy that I recognized the character. I remember him from his old Nintendo game back then and everything. And yeah, so I got a cool comic book from him and autographs. I'll probably review that too. He also gave me like another free comic book, also autographed, so it's also pretty cool. So yeah, now you got the full comic book story, and it's off to do some heavy reading. Alright guys, here's the Spider-Man poster I got just today. And then here's the one from last year. I think it was from last year, not 100% sure. And then here's the one from 2014. Like, wow, free comic book day 2014. Now, yeah, I remember I missed one comic book day because we were out of town. I think for one of the Zenkai cons or something like that. So, you know, I missed it, but oh well. But like, wow. If I can get more of these posters, I gotta get like a whole other fridge, I swear.